Hey, what's going on, beautiful people? First off, let me start by saying that insomnia is a biz not okay? So if I'm looking crazy, it's because girl or bitch is tired, okay? Or bitch is tired. It is 4:23 in the a.m. And I slept for a couple of hours and I woke up. I can't help it. I wake up early in the morning anyway. But first and foremost, I'm going to talk about something really, really quickly. But I did want to show you guys the book that we will be reading. I did include it down in the description box. Not no sponsored shit or nothing like that. Just to show you guys that you can get it from Amazon. You can get it from Barnes & Noble. You can get it from Books A Million. I even heard they have it in Walmart now. I did go to Barnes & Noble on yesterday, and they didn't have it in stock. But the lady ordered it for me. It's free to order. You don't have to pay anything extra. $7.99 for them to send it to the store. And that's it, and that's all. And she said it'll be here in a week. So, but I'm giving everyone to the first of the year to have their book, because that's when we're going to start our whole little situational. But let me show you the book right here. Again, the book is $7.99 from Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Walgreens, Amazon. Just be aware if you order it on Amazon or eBay or something like that, it's going to probably take a little longer to get there. But you can go to Barnes & Noble and it'll be there in a couple days, okay? For free of charge. But this is the book right here. Again, it's Fly Girl by Omar Tyree. I remember I said that it was by Eric Jerome Dickey before, but it's by Omar Tyree, okay? And it's Fly Girl with 2 Y's. And I know my color is going to be acting a damn donkey. All right. But yes, that's the book. And somebody said that they think I should do it on Periscope. Not really sure exactly where it's going to be held at. But all I know is wherever I do it, it needs to be able to be recorded. And I don't know how to record on Periscope just yet. So if anybody knows how to do a live show on Periscope and actually record it, hit your girl up, because that may be a better option for us. I'm not exactly sure yet. But like I said, first of the year, probably the first week in January is when we'll start this whole little situation. But that is the first book that we're going to be reading, okay? The very first one. Then we can go on to the other books from there, okay? Now, the thing that I wanted to come and talk to you guys about before I get into that as well, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. I have not seen it yet. I have seen a couple of you guys' reviews on it, and I haven't watched it yet, but I will be doing a review on it a little bit later. Hopefully I can watch it this morning and go ahead and get that review out to you guys. If it's anything like y'all been talking about in that review, girl, it's a hot shitty ass mess. And I'm not going to speak on it too tough right now, because I already know I haven't seen it, so I want to be able to watch the actual episode first so I can give my own opinion. But yeah, hot shitty ass mess. But what I'm coming to talk to you guys about really, really briefly, really, really quickly, is the Miss Universe pageant and Steve Harvey. Okay. I watched the Miss Universe pageant from start to finish, okay? And y'all, let me tell y'all something. When the show first came on, I knew Miss Philippines was going to be Miss Universe from the gate. I mean, that girl had attitude, she had stage presence, she had confidence, she had it all. I absolutely adored Miss Philippines. I mean, don't get me wrong, go USA, you know, but I knew, you know, you got to give credit where credit is due, and I knew that Miss Philippines was going to be Miss Universe, okay? And I felt so bad for Steve at the end when, you know, of course, the 3 runners-up was Miss USA, Miss Colombia, and Miss Philippines. Apparently, on the card, ain't no apparently, this is what happened. On the card, the letters were written very, very small. He did show the card because he wanted to let everybody know that is exactly what was on the card, and it was his mistake. The writing was very, very small. Now, apparently, they didn't do any type of, you know, they did rehearsal and things like that, but I guess they probably didn't do a rehearsal for him to how to read the cards. Second runner-up was Miss USA, okay? First runner-up was Miss Colombia, but I guess he misconstrued first runner-up for being the winner. And all the way down at the bottom, it did say Miss Universe, Miss Philippines. So I guess maybe that's where he screwed it up at. Now, he announced Miss Colombia as Miss Universe, and of course, she got the crown, and she got her flowers, and she did her walk and her waving and all that type of stuff and blowing her kisses. And of course, I think that's, you know, a little bit after that, I think he realized that he fucked up, because you can kind of see him looking off to the side like, did I really just do this shit? You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, I'm sorry. Miss Colombia is first runner-up. Miss Philippines is Miss Universe. And everybody was like, of course, even Miss Philippines was just sitting there like, everyone was shocked and embarrassed. And of course, they were sitting there still trying to gain their composure. I mean, because they're beauty queens. They're still trying to smile and, give that, happy look. But I can totally tell that Miss Columbia, number one, she was embarrassed. She had took basically damn near the walk of shame. And Miss Philippines missed her moment by doing her walk and her wave and all that type of stuff. And I know it had to be hard taking that $300,000 crown off of her head, y'all. I know that had to be hard as fuck. And of course, the memes have been going crazy on Facebook. People have been talking about Steve Harvey like a dog. Now, he did man up and do a press conference. He told him, he said, yes, I could have. He said, I could have went home. He said, I didn't have to come here and talk to anybody. He said, but I'm a man about my mistake. Now, somebody even said, before I go into the press conference, somebody even said that they had Miss Columbia as Miss Universe on the teleprompter. From my understanding, from what he said, that's not what happened. On the teleprompter, it said first runner-up Miss Columbia. So it didn't say Miss Universe Miss Columbia, but he assumed that first runner-up meant winner. But I appreciate him so much for owning up to his mistake and basically, saying that it was his fault. It wasn't the production's fault. It was his fault. And like I said, he went to this press conference and he was basically explaining to people how it happened, because people are very proud of their countries, okay? I'm talking about extremely proud. There were people in there who were so upset with Steve Harvey. This one guy was like, I'm in disgust. I don't know if he was maybe a relative of Miss Columbia. I don't know. But he was expressing his disgust for Steve Harvey and how could you make that type of mistake? And he said, it was a human error. I'm sorry. And of course, this has never happened in the history of the Miss Universe pageant. Is probably never going to happen again in the history of the Miss Universe pageant. But like I said, I do appreciate him for owning up to his mistake and doing that, because like I said, true enough, Miss Philippines and Miss Columbia had to be embarrassed, but I know that it was very, very embarrassing for Steve. You could look at his face and tell he was extremely embarrassed for that. I mean, and then having to own up to it in front of millions, and ain't no thousands, millions of people on national television. You have to own up to that and say that was your human error. It had nothing to do with, the production, because I mean, he literally showed everyone the card live on television and said it was my mistake. I mean, can you imagine doing that live on television? Ain't no do-overs, okay? Ain't no do-overs. They literally had to decrown Miss Columbia live on stage and place the crown on Miss Philippines. That is so embarrassing. But like I said, Steve Harvey, I totally commend you for owning up to your mistake. It was a human error. We all make them. It's just really, really sad that it happened the way that it happened. But again, like he said, all of the girls did amazing, and they did. They did absolutely amazing. And he said he's just happy that the real winner was crowned, which was Miss Philippines. And he said I mean, there's really nothing that you can do to comfort a person. I mean, they're live on television in front of millions of people. They done basically took this walk, waving, kissing, and all this stuff, and they have to be decrowned. I mean, it's embarrassing. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. I wanted to say that I really do commend Steve Harvey for owning up to his mistake. It was an honest mistake. And I did look at those cue cards. And them mugs, that writing is very, very small, y'all. I'm talking about extremely, extremely small. So, yeah, I mean, it's a human error. Hasn't happened. Probably never will happen again. A lot of people are like, that's why they shouldn't put no nigga up. You got racist motherfuckers who are literally, that's why they shouldn't have put that nigga up on the stage. Seriously. 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 But that's it, and that's all, family. Again, Fly Girl by Omar Tyree. That is what we will be reading for our first book. Okay, we have several others that we will be reading that people have suggested. But I think a lot of people were like, ooh, Fly Girl, it's going to bring back so many memories. So I definitely wanted to go ahead and read that one first, because it's going to bring back a lot of memories for me as well. So I'm super excited about that. What else is going on? Like I said, look out for my Real Housewives of Atlanta review later on today. anything else going on. I probably will have a strange encounters, creepy encounters with strangers or something like that later on in the week. I don't know what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, but I will let you guys, well, y'all gonna see it, girl. Go over to my second channel and check out that vlog that I did yesterday, my Christmas shopping vlog. Add me on Facebook. All the links will be down in the description box below, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.